Hi Pisces, and welcome to your horoscope for February 2025. Thanks for joining me. It's a pleasure to be with you today. My horoscopes are based on the UK time zone, and please watch them in this order: for your rising sign or your ascendant first, then for your sun sign, and finally for your moon sign. So what I'm going to do in this horoscope is I'm going to break February down into 4 weeks, and I'm going to pay particular attention to what the moon is doing, how it moves through your chart, and in what areas it supports you and on what days. So before I get into that, this month, February, is a wonderful month for stargazers because we have something called a planetary parade in place already. 6 planets in our solar system have lined up in a straight line, and by the end of February, Mercury joins those 6 planets. So we have 7 planets lined up perfectly. And the whole concept of astrology is based on this idea that as above, so below, that what happens in the sky and what the planets are doing has a direct influence on us down here on planet Earth. So the fact that we have this planetary parade is really cause for celebration, because it's going to be much easier for you to identify what the long-term goals are. Things that have seemed complicated and difficult and even impossible are going to seem straightforward and easy to attain. And also, you'll find it easy to discover what actions you need to take in order to get to where you want to be ultimately. So it's an epic month. If you've been in a state of limbo, spend a little bit of time contemplating and asking yourself the question: what is it that I really want out of my life? What is the best possible thing that can happen? And how can I get there? And you'll receive a lot of straightforward, concrete information that you can then implement. So starting with week 1, Saturday the 1st until Sunday the 9th of February, so the first 9 days of the month. On the 1st of February, the moon was in your sign of Pisces, in your first house of self. So that would have been a day for good self-care, getting clear on what it is you want. You may have even had dreams that kind of showed you what the best outcomes could be. So if you have a dream journal, or if you experience something really fantastic in your dreams last night, make sure that you hang on to that. It's likely to be something that you can manifest in earnest. Then on the 2nd and 3rd of February, the moon moves into Aries and it joins Chiron, an asteroid known as the Wounded Healer, that's also in Aries, in that second house of money and securities and belongings. So those 2 days are days where you can really take actions to begin side gigs or new businesses, or to look at how you can heal your own finances, or what you can do now in order to create the wealth that you want to create, so that you can buy the house in future, or buy the plot of land that you want for your own homestead. Whatever it is that you have got planned for yourself, the 2nd and 3rd are really great days to take kind of financial action, and more about building something new that's designed to create an income rather than getting on top of your finances in an organizational or admin type of way. On the 4th, 5th, and 6th, the moon goes into Taurus and it goes into your 3rd house of communication, and it joins Uranus, the planet of the miraculous and the unexpected, that's also in that 3rd house in Taurus. So these 3 days are great for any Pisces who work creatively. You'll be able to paint and to write and to design in a way that's very satisfying. And you'll also be able to kind of produce work that's surprising in its quality, where you're able to kind of surprise yourself and to say, hey, I didn't realize I was this talented. I didn't realize I was this good. So it's almost like by being productive during this 3-day period, that you can demonstrate to yourself that you have a lot more skill and talent that you give yourself credit for. And that's the kind of experience that can really build your own confidence. On the 4th of February, we have Venus, the planet of love and beauty and creativity. That ingresses into Aries and it moves into your second house of money. So from the 4th of February until the end of the month, setting goals for your finances, for what you can do about your income, how you can take steps to realize your hopes and dreams in the most materialistic of ways. It supports you for the rest of the month. And also on the 4th of February, we have Jupiter, the lucky planet, that goes direct until the 11th of November 2025. So when a planet is retrograde, the energy is expressed inwardly. When it's direct, the energy is expressed outwardly. And Jupiter, the lucky planet, is at 11 degrees in Gemini in your 4th house of family and your roots and what makes you feel like you belong in life. So with Jupiter sitting down here, February is a month where you can expect very little conflict when it comes to you and family members. But what you can also expect is to find this sense of this is where I belong, whether that's a location or a person, as in this is the person I belong with, or this is where I want to move to because I'm on holiday, I visited, I really feel that I could put down roots here and this would be the perfect fit. But not only that, on the 7th and 8th, the moon moves into Gemini and joins Jupiter and your transiting ascendant in that 4th house. So it's even better as far as family relationships are concerned. So if you've got any family events that are coming up and you have the opportunity to plan them on certain days, the 7th and 8th are great. But also, if you're doing any research or you're looking to make changes in terms of where you're going to put down roots and where you see yourself in future, the 7th and 8th are going to yield a lot of results in terms of I have found where I belong. I now know what I'm working towards. This is the dream. This is what's going to work for me. And these are the steps I'm going to take in order to get there. On the 9th, the moon moves on into Cancer, and it also stays in Cancer on the 10th of February in week 2, and it moves into your 5th house of love and romance and loving relationships. And that can be what you love to do in terms of work. If you're someone who is working, if you're a student or retired, it can show you this is what I really love to study, this is what I want to graduate in. Or if you're retired, this is really what I love to do, this is what I'm working towards, this is what I really enjoy. And it sits next to the moon in Cancer, that is, it sits next to Hades and Mars, both of which are in Cancer. So Hades in a chart is the thing that you don't want to look at, and Mars is the planet of ambition and drive. And what these 2 days do for you is, if there's anything that you have loved in the past or you have loved to do, and something happened where that was taken from you. So you had the ideal job that you were thrilled with, right? Or you were in the perfect relationship and that ended in a divorce or fizzled out or whatever it may be. On these 2 days, what you're able to do is you get the courage to say, do you know what, even though these things didn't work out in the past, I'm not going to give up on these areas of my life, both working towards something I love and being in relationships where I feel love and I'm able to give love. I'm now going to revisit those things and I'm going to intend to bring more of this love into my life, and I'm going to take action in future to make that happen. So the 9th and 10th are really days where you can pick yourself up, dust yourself off and say, we will try again. I'm going to try again. This isn't over by a long shot. It really gives you that resilience and that strength to believe that hopes and dreams can come true, and they can come true for you even if you have experienced disappointments. The other thing is that Mercury, the communication planet, and Venus, the planet of love and beauty and creativity, they're direct all month. So expect very few problems with communication or transportation, and also don't expect to be blocked when it comes to starting new relationships or starting new businesses. It's all systems go in those areas. So in the first 9 days of February, the moon started in your first house of self, and it ends up in your fifth house of what you love. And that's pretty much the whole bottom half of your chart, quadrants 1 and 2, except the sixth house. So the first 9 days are really about discovering what gives you the greatest sense of belonging in life, what's going to make you feel like you have roots, like you're grounded, like you're safe, like you're in the place that makes you feel like this is where I'm meant to be, right? And by the end of the week, you get the courage to say, not only do I now recognize those things, I'm going to try again, or for the very first time, I'm now going to start to take actions that are likely to result in me ending up in these locations or getting these relationships or being in these circumstances that I want to be in. Week 2, Monday to Sunday, the 10th to the 16th of February. On the 10th, the moon is still in Cancer. Then on the 11th and 12th of February, the moon goes into Leo, and it goes into your sixth house of daily routine, your physical health, and the structures of your life. And the moon in Leo is very confident. It's very much about, put me in the limelight. I'm the leader. I'm the boss. And these 2 days are great for you to make any changes in your daily routine that aren't conducive to you accomplishing your dreams. So nothing is too difficult. You're completely in charge of your life. You're in charge of your own body, the way you feed your body, the way you exercise, the way you treat yourself, the way your everyday routine looks. If you think about Leo, astrology is based on the seasons, Western astrology, right? And it's based on the northern hemisphere. So Leo is when nature is at its warmest and life is easiest. So with the moon being in Leo during this 2-day period, anything that's problematic in your everyday routine, look at that and you'll find a solution, or you'll have the confidence and the courage to say, I'm going to get rid of this and I'm going to replace it with something that is better for myself. That peaks particularly on the 12th of February when we have a full moon in Leo. So anything that you've been scared about, you may have been aware of these things in the past, as in, I only eat junk food, and on some level I know that's not great for my physical health, but I'm scared of eating differently. I don't know what to do. On these 2 days, you can commit to something like that and say, I'm now going to inform and educate myself about a different way of nourishing my own body, and I'm going to start to do that. On the 13th, 14th, and 15th, the moon moves into Virgo, and it goes into your seventh house of relationships. And at the same time, you've still got Jupiter, the lucky planet, in your fourth house of your roots and your family and what makes you feel like you belong. So these 3 days are great for you to go on dates, to start new relationships, and to immediately get an understanding of who's going to connect with you in a positive way and which relationships are less likely to succeed. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, the communication planet. And when Mercury is in Virgo, the switch is on the inward position and it does all the research, it looks at all the information, and it comes up with meaning. So, one, on a conscious level, you're able to assess any new relationships and see if they have merit. And then with Jupiter in your fourth, the good luck supports you in attracting the right people into your life. So I know it's a little awkward. On the 14th, we have Valentine's Day, right? And not many people go on first dates on Valentine's Day because it's it adds a lot of pressure. But for you, Pisces, the 14th of February is a great day to meet new people and to go on dates because of the combination of Jupiter and the moon. On the 14th as well, Mercury ingresses into Pisces, so the communication planet, exits Aquarius in your 12th house, and it moves into your sign of Pisces in your first house of self. So when it comes to your own inner voice, from the 14th onwards, it's going to be even easier for you to hear what is genuinely and truly useful to you and what direction you want to move into. It's far less likely for you to be deluded about something, or to get the wrong end of the stick, or to have some sort of goal in mind that promises to make you happy, but in reality then doesn't deliver. So you can really trust your own gut, you can trust your own inner voice. It's not going to lead you down the wrong path. On the 16th of February, we've got the moon going into Libra, and it stays in Libra on the 17th as well in week 3. But that goes into your 8th house of institutions and authorities. So these 2 days are good to do any of the paperwork, any of the red tape, the bureaucracy that needs taken care of. So if you need to apply for a visa, or you want to finish your tax return, or you want to get your books in order, these 2 days are days where you find that very easy. And on the 16th of February, we have Venus, the ruler of Libra, at its brightest in the night sky. So whether you're looking up at Venus in the night sky to be inspired to get all of your paperwork in order, which seems unlikely, it could just be that you look up at Venus on the 16th and it inspires you in the sense that anything that needs doing, you are more than capable of accomplishing it. And anything new that you want to start, a new creative project, a new relationship, now's the time to do that, and Venus supports you in that. It loves you, and it wants you to experience love and fulfillment in all these different areas of your life, both what you're working towards, your actual work, and your personal relationships. So in week 2, the moon started in your 5th house, and it ends up in your 8th house. So that's the very right hand side of your chart, and that is bringing into your life what you're longing for. So whether that's relationship, or a healthier lifestyle, or being on top of your paperwork, you're able to accomplish the things that haven't been done so far. And by the end of the second week, I think you will want to give yourself a pat on the back and say, I did really well here, and I brought good things into my life. Week 3, Monday to Sunday, the 17th to the 23rd of February. The moon's still in Libra on the 17th. Then on the 18th, 19th, and 20th, the moon goes into Scorpio in your 9th house of travel, education, and the higher realms. So Scorpio, and the moon in Scorpio particularly, is your intuition, being able to get to the root cause of a situation. And if you have been considering a move and you haven't been quite clear on where am I going to move to, if you contemplate that, and if you look at the map on the 18th, 19th, and 20th, you'll be able to pick a place to move to in connection with your intuition that then says, ding, 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 this place, for instance, is the right one, go for it, move there. Also, if you have wanted to pick up a new area of study, but you haven't been quite sure what would be the best thing to look into, again, in connection with your own inner voice, you'll find the right area of study. And if you want to have a spiritual connection, or even to find a way to connect with your own intuition, looking into that will also yield great results. Try something like meditation or any type of spiritual practice, and you'll find that you have greater access to your own inner voice. On the 18th of February, the sun goes into your sign of Pisces, so happy birthday. And it goes into your first house of self. It joins the part of fortune, Mercury, Saturn, Neptune, and the North Node. They're all in Pisces. So from the 18th onwards, you're really going to find it very easy to understand what your priorities are, what you would like to happen, and what you can do about that in a practical way. so that you, let's say from the 18th until the end of the month, but even moving into March, that you feel much richer than you do right now watching this video at the beginning of February. This is about you acquiring good things and adding them to your life over the next 4 weeks and giving yourself the birthday present, so to speak, rather than depending on other people or expecting things from others. On the 21st and 22nd, the moon moves into Sagittarius, and that goes into your 10th house of career. So expect some good news about your career. If you've sent off applications or if you've had discussions with the employer for changes to your salary or to your income, or if you've applied for a transfer to a different location, and that information has been outstanding and you've been sitting there waiting for an answer, expect a good answer to come in on the 21st or 22nd. Then the moon goes into Capricorn on the 23rd, and also it stays there on the 24th and 25th in week 4, and that moves into your 11th house of hopes and dreams. So these are the 3 days where, if possible, you can take some time for yourself to start to work on realizing your hopes and dreams in the most practical, mundane kind of way, where you're doing the work, where you're filling in the forms and signing them off, sending them off rather, if you want to enroll in a particular university, or if you want to send an application so that you can work for a particular company. It's to do the legwork. These are the 3 days where the more busy you are and the more work you do, the greater likelihood you have of having those dreams realized in earnest. And again, it's really about doing the work so that the birthday presents can come in for you. On the 23rd as well, we have Mars, the planet of masculinity and drive. That goes direct. It's been retrograde for a long time, since the 6th of December 2024. And here on the 23rd of February, it does go direct. And it goes direct in Cancer, in your 5th house of love, romance, and what it is you love to do. So that's really positive for you. It brings more energy and more momentum into your love life, and it also brings more clarity into, this is what I want to do in terms of a career, and I know that for certain, and now I'm going to pursue it. So in week 3, the moon started in your 8th house, and it ends up in your 8th house. So that's the top half of your chart. So week 3 is all about doing the work, whether that's doing the personal work to realize your hopes and dreams, or actually being super productive in your job, in your career. You'll be able to get a lot done in week 3. Week 4, Monday to Friday, the 24th to the 28th of February, the moon is still in Capricorn on the 24th and 25th, so continue to work on your hopes and dreams. It then goes into Aquarius on the 26th, and it joins Pluto, Pallas, and the transiting midheaven, also in Aquarius in your 12th house. So expect to receive some sort of wisdom from the higher realms that say, consider this option. This is what will have the most positive influence on your life moving forward. And this is a bit of information that you may not have been aware of. Look into it. And also, if you keep a dream journal, make sure that you write down what you dream on the night of the 26th, waking up in the morning on the 27th, and see what comes up through your dreams. You're likely to get some sort of a message. It doesn't just need to be through your dreams, though. It can also be through your own intuition, your own inner voice, giving you that final piece of the puzzle that then allows you to see the bigger picture and to start pursuing it. Then on the 27th and 28th, the moon goes back into your sign of Pisces, and it moves into your 1st house of self. And then on the 27th of February, we have a new moon in Pisces. So this is your new moon. Your energy is being pulled in here at the end of February. And the new moon is when the moon is pitch black and it's pulling in energy to start its next 28-day cycle. So what it does for you is that you will completely know by the end of February, this is who I am, this is what's important to me, and these are the action steps I'm going to take in order to realize my hopes and dreams for the future. On the 1st of March, Venus, the planet of love and beauty and creativity, that goes retrograde until the 12th of April. So in March and until the middle of April, it's not so good to start new relationships and new business ventures. So do as much as you can in both of those areas here in February, because you're going to be much more supported by the planet being direct. So in this final week of February, the moon on the 24th starts in your 8th and it ends up in your 1st. So that's the very left-hand side of your chart. And it's really about transcending your existing self. Your current self is going to become much more informed because of what your dreams offer you in terms of information or what your intuition tells you. This is the final piece of info that has been missing. You now have it, and off you go. Start to realize your hopes and dreams in earnest. So I hope that gives you an idea of what you'll be working with in February. I hope you have a wonderful month. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via the website, gregoryscott.com. To draw up your birth charts, I need your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth. If you don't have the time of birth, don't worry, I can use sunrise. But there's also a process called chart rectification. That's where you send me 10 or more significant life events and I can work out your time of birth. And that's much better than using sunrise because it means I have the accurate ascendant and also accurate house placements, which are important. Once I have that in front of me, it's like a blueprint of who you are. I can see what your vocational aptitudes are, what your life purpose is, what's destined for you in relationships and travel and education and spiritual development and finances and communication and education, anything at all really. To look at what's coming up in future, I look at your progress chart and your transits. And if it's around your birthday, then what I do is I also draw up a solar return chart, which shows me the themes and trends from your birthday this year until your birthday next year. And if there's anything around location or moving, I look at the astrocartography, and that shows me what areas on planet Earth will support you and influence you in a positive way, and which areas aren't going to work for you as well. So if you have any questions around any of those things, please do get in touch with me for a personal reading via the website gregoryscott.com. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, please. Subscribe for more videos in future, and please share the video with anyone else you may think will be interested in this or may benefit from this information. That's what helps the channel to grow. I hope you have a wonderful February, and I'll speak to you soon. All the best.